You can't believe how absolutely pig-headed these boys are being. Either they don't believe Netta could possibly care about someone other than them, or worse yet, they suspect he doesn't exist. Well, he doesn't. And you were so sure your last bit was convincing. Now you need to get something to prove not only that this secret admirer exists, but that he's a force to be reckoned with. So we brought up athletics for there's a rich merchant in Uptown with a cute son. It might be tough, but make it seem like he's the secret admirer. That's not worded well, I don't think. Befriend will open up another opportunity, I believe, where you can steal a thief skilled pendant or something, and then move silently, steal pirate's sword. But yeah, athletics, that's what we're good at, that's what we're gonna do. Netta wants to get something that has the crest of the rich merchant to prove her secret admirer is his son. You walk up there one day and slink around the Mandir mansion, trying to figure out what you're going to get. As you wander around, you notice that there are tiny flagpoles mounted on columns. If only you can get one of those little flags. Looking around, you make sure the coast is clear and grasp hold of the brick column. The metal bars sticking out of the brick are slippery, and it takes a lot of dexterity to keep from tumbling down to the street. You manage to climb to the top and deftly remove a flag. Climbing down quickly, you pocket the flag and return to Netta. The feather and spear symbol on the expensive little flag should be enough to prove where it came from. Ooh, what's this? It's good to learn from your mistakes, undoubtedly. There are times when you mess something up, reflect back and consider your errors, and figure out ways to do it better next time. You would even be so willing as to say that most mistakes fall into this category. You can almost always learn something valuable from your screw-ups. But then there are the things you rather just forget, the things that were so stupid, so inexcusably moronic, so, well, embarrassing, that they're better just to forget about. Like the time you got caught trying to sneak into the kitchen storeroom trying to steal extra dessert and you tripped over the stock pot. Or the test you didn't study for because you were certain, incorrectly it turns out, that you knew the material back to front and were guaranteed to ace it. Or the time you made the mistake of writing in your journal that you thought a certain professor, we won't say who, it's just too embarrassing to even think about, was rather attractive. Okay, rather attractive was not the term you used, but that's even more embarrassing. Okay, this is a personal thing. I've never been attracted to any of my teachers growing up. I don't know. I might be the weird one, but I've never understood that. Shrug. This is definitely one of those things that needs to be swept uninvestigated and unrecorded into the dustbin of non-history. Nobody needs to ever know about that silly, stupid crush you had when you first arrived at school, and no one would know if you'd been more careful. You should have torn that page out of your journal, scribbled over it, burned it, and dropped the ashes off the edge of the world. Anything to keep this childish infatuation from ever seeing the light of day. But you didn't. You foolishly figured that a private entry in your private journal would remain just that, private. And if you were a little less clumsy, you would have been right. If you hadn't tried to carry so many books at once and dump them across the hallway floor. And why were you carrying your journal anywhere anyways? Why would you take a book of your most private thoughts and musings out of the safety of your room? You thought it would be nice to do some writing in nature? Whatever that meant at the time. How nice to sit under a tree or by a stream and record your innermost hopes and dreams and observations to look back on in your old age. Now you're not even sure you'll reach old age. Yes, you will. If this information becomes common knowledge, you're pretty sure you'll drop dead of embarrassment. And of all people to be standing nearby when you dropped it, Rosette von Luttersee, who is part of the Talkhouse Society clique. We have no relationship with them. They're part of the Hetty College. Do you know a professor's favorite potion? He does. He would consider telling you if it would help him out. Some students say he sells tidbits of information like this for money, but it's impossible to find anyone who's actually benefited from the service. He's always been very sneaky. Save for a few trustworthy friends, no one seems to like him, not even the teachers, considering that it is kind of hard to see him knowing so much about so many people. Alright, so this is the guy who sells information. Good to know. Great. Everyone at school knows him as the biggest busybody on campus. He collects little snippets of secrets like currency, auctioning them off for money and favors. And now your deepest, darkest secret is one more of those trinkets. A shiny bubble he can dangle in front of the other students, tempting them with hints until their curiosity overwhelms them and they agree to his terms of exchange. So now you're in Rit's room trying to find a way to get him to keep your secret a secret. You've asked nicely, you begged, you pleaded. Ritz, however, is a true professional and remains unmoved by sentimental or sympathy. He wants something in exchange and he's offering you a choice. I can't just unsee what I've seen, he explains. Once a piece of information comes into my possession, it's there forever. It's very valuable, you see. And it would be foolish of me to just throw something of value away carelessly. It can't be forgotten. It can only be exchanged, traded for something of equal value. Give me something of equal value, and I'll take your little commodity off the market. Asshole. Confidence, trade a favor. Or gossip, trade information. Well, we have the confidence, so let's do something for him. What sort of favor are we talking about, you ask? I don't know yet, he replies. I don't really need a favor right now, so for now you can just owe me if I think it's worth it. What are you good for? You start listing your skills, attributes, and abilities as Reitz listens. Well, I have a 4 in fitness, a 1 in finesse. A really good insight, though. Actually, I think that's bolstered by that spell. Yeah, that's actually not really that good. Well, I think insight's still one of my highest, but it's not 15. Once in a while, he gives an audible, but mostly he listens and watches you. You think of all the spells you're good at, your studying skills, anything to convince him to keep your secret. Finally, he stops you. That's enough, he says. At last, I think you'll be able to help me out at some point. I'll let you know when I need a favor. In the meantime, you'll just have to owe me. And trust you, you think to yourself as you storm off. I think that was good. Alright, well, either way, we succeeded with Netta's adventure so far. We used selective focus on observation. We ate at Alice's tavern. We lost 10 gold, but we brought up our wit by a little bit, and we decreased our stress by 1. I guess my conversation must be maxed if it's not here. Oh well. Let's see, Tulula, Honors, and Piccolo all competed. You increased your awareness skill by 1. We have learned about this bit of lore here, so if you wish to read it, it's there. And you've lost selective focus, which is fine. Evelyn did not succeed at study, did succeed at compete, did not succeed at get ready for music. Prudence succeeded at using hangout inside the college with herself and Piccolo. I know that's not his name, but damn it, I'm just calling him Piccolo. And Netta did not succeed at using study. Oh, we're in the next week. Nice, and there looks like there's a holiday coming up. We'll see if we'll make it to the holiday, I'm not sure yet. But we are gonna keep bringing up our favorite skill, observation. Using our favorite place, the Library of Longshade. You are walking through the streets of town, browsing the shops and people, watching when someone taps you on the shoulder. You look up and up and up to see a very large man causing an eclipse, at least over the area where you are standing. He is staring at a piece of paper with a confused expression on his face. Perhaps he needs help. You ask the big man what the problem is, and he tells you his name is Ugo, and he is on a scavenger hunt. If he wins, then he gets candy, but he isn't sure where to find some of the things on his list, he says. One thing I need is lead shoes. Do you know where to get lead shoes? Okay, so I do tests to make sure things work the way I think they work. And I may have seen this before in the test, in one of my test recordings, or we might have seen this previously in one of our videos. If you remember this, let me know, because I'm curious if maybe by accident it repeated a adventure or a random adventure, or maybe this is just from a test and we got to see it. Tell him you don't know? No. Persuasion suggests he tries a cobbler. Diplomacy suggests he try a blacksmith. Or decipher handwriting, ask to see the list. We're going to do that because let's choose sounds like something you do to kill someone by putting, cement blocks on their feet and throwing them in a river or something to drown them. Why do I know that? Mind your own business. You ask if you can see the list so that you might help, and he gently hands you a sheet of thin paper. The top of the page is marked with a crest of the Thieves Guild. Is this guy actually a thief? Below that, in very neat and easy to read block writing, is the following list. Scavenger hunt. Rope, feed sack, lead shoes, gloves, handkerchief. Gloves have been crossed out. You glance over the list for a few seconds before you notice some smudges at the bottom of the page. You look closer at the smudges and soon realize they are words that have been bled through from something being written on the page placed over the top of this one. You can barely make out the following script. It says, remove Jorgen Learner. That's the captain of the city guard. That, along with the items listed, makes you think that the captain may be in danger. Even if Ugo doesn't seem capable of hurting a fly, he is busy licking chocolate off his fingers as you read the list. Someone in the Thieves Guild must be dangerous. So we can now use social skills to notify Captain Leonard of the threat. I feel like we might have done this one in a previous video because in my test recordings I wouldn't read out loud. Or in my test of playing this game I wouldn't read this out loud. And I feel like I've done the quote-unquote joke of pronouncing that name completely wrong. And by quote-unquote joke, I mean being inept to know how to actually pronounce that word and passing it off as a joke. Anyway, social skills, notify the captain. After looking at his list and seeing what was written in the smudges at the bottom, you decide that the captain of the guard needs to know about a threat on his life. You tell Ugo that there is a feed shop just around the corner where you can get the feed sack and probably some rope too. He shuffles away, thanking you for your help. You go down the street to the main guard office and tell the desk sergeant that you need to speak to Captain Learner. You explain what you saw on the bottom of the list Ugo was holding, and the sergeant takes you in the back to the captain's office. You explain everything again to the captain, who sits back and thinks for a minute. Thank you, he says. I knew that arresting a couple of the higher-ranking thieves would make them mad, but I didn't know they would want to kill me. Now I'll be ready for them. He reaches into his desk and pulls out a ledger and a small bag of coins. He hands you the bag and scribbles in the ledger 25 pins, rune slugabed, information saving captain's head. Yay! You can also click on this, which is nice. Ah, Mr. Pebbles. We haven't played with you much. Maybe towards the end of the year. That we're coming to very quickly. Nothing in class. Observation is now 11, and we can bring that up even further. Wow. I'm a little impressed by that. You increase properties of arithmetic, which is nice, I guess. Lambert competed. We increased our money. Increase your character skill step by 1. We learned about this. Some lore for you to read if you want. The Vault of Voices, which seems to be a place I can go to visit the Vault of Voices, which increases voice, oratory, mimicry, confidence, and awareness. Prudence went to class and did not succeed at study. Tavin, Sel, Casper. Netta did not succeed at study. Evelyn succeeded at using try to solve the block puzzle. That should be everyone. Alright, well, I think we're going to continue bringing up observation until we can't do that anymore. And do Tuesday. Okay, easy day. We learned about press in athletics, which is a theme. Difficult level is 3. It allows you to reroll any bully action and to take the higher of the 2 rolls. Well, that's interesting. Nothing from our other set of classes. We can continue bringing up observation. This is ridiculous to me, but whatever. We also increased innuendo, which is a gossip skill apparently. We have learned about Miranda's Beauty Club, which we can go to increase cosmetics and court hairstyles. Where's the shop? I don't know why it's grayed out down here, but whatever. The use of eyebrows and innuendo. Some lore to read, and we've learned about air, which I think we've already knew air, which is a fame for finesse. Lambert is competing. You have lost day at the Library of Longshade. Sure, buddy. I kind of want to keep doing, because I don't remember how long selective focus lasts. So let's keep doing observation, increasing that for now.